Hello, everyone, and welcome to the online training module for Google Meet. I'm going to share with you what the Google Suite function of Meet has to offer. You can start by thinking of Meet similarly to Zoom. And so there's different ways that you can access Google Meet. One way, and the most traditional way that most people access Google Suite applications, is by clicking on the waffle or the 9 dots. So right up here, I'm in my Gmail, by the way. I'll go ahead and I'll click on the waffle. And as you can see, I am displayed with the different Google Suite applications. And so I'm going to scroll down and find the Meet. And it should be here somewhere. Oh, here it is. It was actually on the top. And so when I click on this, it's going to open up a window that looks like this. And this website, you can also type in the website directly. You don't have to go through the waffle. And so let's try that again, but this time I'll go through by typing out the website. So let me close this tab and let me open up a new one again and type in meet.google.com. Same thing again. I'm on a new tab and it's opening up a new main page for Google Meet. Please note that the wallpaper may change from time to time, and in this case we see a painting of a couple of animals. And so the wallpaper would change, but just by looking at the main page here, we can see a couple of things. Obviously up here it says that we are in the Google Meet page. It has today's time and the date, and there's some settings over here. You always want to make sure that you are logged into your own Gmail account. And I know that this is my account because it has the first letter of my first name. And that would be Frankie. By the way, I didn't introduce myself. My name is Frankie Indalecio, and I am an instructional coach for the elementary schools. So again, welcome. And down here, the green section, it says join or start a meeting. So I can click on this to join a meeting or to start a meeting. And usually when you get the gist of this, you may come to a point where you're going to start scheduling your meetings. And if you start scheduling your meetings and they're coming up, they'll usually be listed right here in a list going downward. But this one says that I have nothing scheduled for today. That's the beauty about Google Meet. You don't always have to schedule it. You could just jump right into it. So let's just jump right into one. Now it says for me to enter a meeting code or a nickname, and this is nice too because I'm not going to be using any of the funky letters and numbers. I'm just going to create a nickname. So let's try module training. Let's just use that and click on continue. So that code that I just created, module training, I can basically tell all of my colleagues, hey, let's join on a meet. The code is module training, so I don't have to send them a text or an email with a meeting ID and a password. And so here you can see we have displayed my camera. And this is the main page again of Meet once you get into a meeting session. Now, the meeting hasn't started yet, but as you can see, I have my camera here with two functions. I have my speaker, my microphone and my camera. So I can click on this and it'll turn off my camera. I can also click on this and it will mute me, but I won't mute myself at this time. And then over here is the meeting code, module training. That's the one that I had just created. So I'm just going to jump right in, join now. And I'm just going to take you through some of the basic functions of Google Meet. So here is a pop-up window right when I enter the meeting, and it shows my meeting code name. And yes, people can actually dial in if they want to join the meeting, but they are via a phone call. So that's another way for people to get in. I can also add people into this meeting, and it'll send out a notification to them if I wanted to do that. But in this tutorial, I'm not going to add anybody to the meeting. I'm just showing you the functions and features. And so this image here that keeps on expanding and shrinking is basically picking up the audio sound. That's all that is. On the top right corner, just going to explain to you a couple of these things. Right here, it just tells you how many people are in this meeting at this point in time. You can see there's a number 1, so there's only one person in this meeting. Next to that is the chat button. If I click on it, what it does is it opens up a chat window. And it shows the meeting room name and how many people are in here, and that I've accessed the chat function. And down at the bottom is where I can type my message. Hello, welcome to the meeting. And then I can just click on this arrow here, and there's my chat. And I'm pretty sure many of you are familiar with that, as you probably had participated numerous times in Zoom meetings. And so I can close that chat, this whole chat area if I want to. I don't have to have it visible. I can also click on the X and close up that chat. If I want it back open, just click on this chat box here and it reopens the chat. And there it is. Okay. And I'm going to close it so that way we can see what the others are. Again, here's the time and here's my name. So this assures me that I am logged into this meeting with my GDOE email. Excuse me. On the bottom left, we have again the meeting code name. And if I click on this arrow here, I'm displayed with just basically some technical information. This one tells me that I don't have any files attached to this meeting, so I'm not sharing any files. But let's see what happens when I click on that. It shows 0, and I apologize for my slow internet. Okay, so this one is showing that there is nothing attached to this meeting. I can certainly go over attaching files in here at a later time. Down on the bottom, we have again my microphone, and right now it's turned on. This is to leave the meeting if I want to hang up and leave the meeting. And this is to turn the camera off and on. At this point in time, it is turned off. Over here on this side, we have a button for caption. So I can turn this on and see our voice transcoded into text. Hello. This message is about captions in our Google Meets discussion on building lesson plans. And as you can see here, the voice is being transferred to messages. So this is a really good way for your audience to read the conversation, maybe if they're having audio issues. So I'm going to turn this off now. Okay, and then the next button we have over here is the Present Now button. And so what this is kind of like the share screen function. So if I click on this, I can either share my entire screen, I can share a window, or I can share a Chrome tab. Now, this is the reason why this is here is because this is Google Meet, which is part of the Google Suite, and Google's browser is Chrome, so it kind of has a favorite here regarding internet browsers. So I can share a Chrome tab. And lastly are the 3 dots here in the corner. When I click on that, I can record the meeting. I can change the layout where I can see 4 tiles at a time. I can show a full screen. Let me click on before I go down further, let me click on change layout. Let's go see what that looks like. So I have here a main screen with 4 windows on the side. Spotlight is just one single screen, and then tile is, I can share up to 16. You can certainly go beyond 16, like let's say for example you are meeting with 17 students and you don't have a 17th tile. There's third-party applications or Chrome extensions that you can certainly download and install that would allow you to expand your view. I believe one extension is called Grid View. I'm going to go ahead and close this layout up. Go back to the three dots. And we also have here a full screen function where I can basically look at the entire screen. I can turn on the captions from here as well. There's some additional settings that you can go in and browse around in. This is more so regarding your audio setup and your video setup. Sometimes people are using a different or a separate microphone, an external microphone or another speaker, or if you're using a Bluetooth device, sometimes you'll need to ensure that your audio and your video are directly connected to those resources. And so that concludes this general discussion on the basic interface of Google Meet. Again, this is part of the Google Suite. It is for free to use by all our GDOE employees and students, and you can certainly use this to communicate with your students online. You can share this screen and present a PowerPoint slide to them, or a video clip, or maybe instructions on a handout that you had sent home. This is a great function for them. The time limit on this is at 60 minutes, but Google hasn't really been enforcing that until I believe the end of September, which at that point they will ensure that the limit is cut to 60 minutes. But you also want to keep in mind too that by limiting your videos discussions to 60 minutes or less, this will definitely help your students to stay on track rather than exceeding that beyond an hour. And that's pretty much everything for now that covers the basic functions of Google Meet. Thank you for your time.